Trash is a little way ahead and halts as soon as he hears the door opening again behind him, tension clear in the flex of his back. He speaks hesitantly without turning around. Lana? Yeah, it's me. Answer him? Trash, he sighs. Busted. Yeah, you are. Turning, he gives you a sheepish look. So, you're probably wondering where I'm going, huh? Yeah. Where are you going? Any chance I can get out of this without spilling my guts? It's too early in the morning. No. Preferably. But I guess I can't force it out of you. Are you leaving me here? What? What are you... Why would you even think something like that? I don't know. Why else would you be sneaking out? Don't lie to me, Trash. Yep, you are. You totally are. Why else would you be sneaking out? I mean, I'm guessing he's just, doing a scouting run or something. So, I'm just gonna go straight out this, I guess. Why would you be sneaking out? Why else would you be sneaking out? Sneaking? I wouldn't say I was sneaking. It's more, it's totally sneaking. Look, I'm not taking off, okay? I just gotta go somewhere, and then I'm coming right back. I'm coming with you. You get why I can't believe that, right? But where are you going? You promise? Should I put a little bit... I should probably put a little bit of trust in you, but where are you going? I'm gonna guess even if I ask, he's not gonna tell us because he's just not in the mood, so yeah, I'm just gonna trust you. Ah, geez, not with the puppy dog eyes. Tell you what, why don't you just come with me? Exactly, I want to say I'm coming with you, okay? Sensing your hesitation, he hurries to clarify. We'll be out for a couple of hours, tops. Scav's honor. Let's go. Yeah? Great. Come on then. Trash leaps up into Jeep parked inside the main door and motions for you to get in. We're going inside the Jeep? Our new buddies won't mind if we borrow their wheels, right? Awesome, get in. I didn't get to answer. You do. After a few jerky stops and starts, the Jeep rolls out of the compound. Hey, I ain't too bad at this, huh? He can't quite manage to drive in a straight line, but well, it isn't such a problem where there's no pedestrians to hit or roads to follow. Once you're out into the Dust Bowl, Trash seems to know exactly where he's heading, not faltering in direction once. He keeps quiet as he drives, his jaw set in grim concentration. You watch the scenery zoom until finally the Jeep stops. There's not much different about this patch of land except a few small blown-out buildings. Trash kills the engine and climbs out of the vehicle. You get out as well and find him standing completely still, staring ahead. So, this is my hometown. Of all the things you could have said, you were not expecting that. It's lovely. Why didn't you tell me you used to live out here? Keep quiet. I can't really see it, so I'm not sure if it's lovely. I don't want to jump into conclusions already. Why didn't you tell me you used to live out here? Keep quiet. You keep quiet and wait for him to continue. Trash flashes you a small smile and starts walking around the wreckage of the ghost town. They call it Hope. It was supposed to be a farming community, but even back then it was a poor excuse for one. He passes through the missing wall of a 3-walled ruin of a stone hut. I used to live here with my mama and grandpa. Oh. You think cohabiting in the shack was hard? Try sleeping in one room with 3 generations of a family. Oh dear gosh. But it wasn't a bad life. Mama used to spoil me rotten. Drove grandpa nuts. Maybe it's time to finally ask. What happened? Uh-oh. Bandits. There was the one gang that must have had a camp somewhere near because we were like their personal punching bag. They'd show up every few weeks demanding food or water or stuff they liked the look of. After a while they started asking for women. One time they asked for me. A skinny armed 9-year-old. Don't know what they wanted with me. Probably because you're the only kid around. Anyway, that was when we started refusing and... Shit, what were we thinking? Like it could have ended any other way than this. They came back one day and just slaughtered the town. Every single person. Well, jeez. She tried to hide the both of us, but one of them came and... That's enough, Trash. You don't have to say anymore. Put a hand on his shoulder. You put a hand on his shoulder and squeeze gently. Trash swallows hard and continues. She did her best, you know. She wasn't a strong woman. She was 3 years old when the bombs fell. Grandpa used to say there was a part of her that stopped growing then and there. Man, that must have been not a good thing to see at such a young age. He used to say she wasn't made for this kind of world. But she did her best. She stabbed that asshole in the leg with a knife before he... Well, Then he grabbed me, but I don't think he wanted to kill me because he started trying to drag me away. I bit down on his hand so hard I could hear the bone taste, the blood. Oh my gosh. You know what's really crazy? I can remember all of that. I can remember how he tasted. But I couldn't remember his face. Don't know if he was old or young, skinny or fat. He could have been ugly and scarred to shit, or he could have looked like a prince. He'd been watching and listening in silence all this time, but Trash has been talking with his gaze fixed to the wall, like he's not talking for an audience. Finally, he seems to become aware that you're standing beside him. Anyway, he let go and I ran. Oh, he couldn't catch me with his leg all fucked up, and his friends were all busy. with the others. I left him. I left everyone and ran away until my legs wouldn't work anymore. I'd lost everything. I felt dead already. Oh jeez. I don't know how many days I spent just wandering, but if Billy hadn't found me, I would have just rotted where I fell. I know that. Trash closes his eye for a long moment. When he opens them, they're clearer than they've been in a long time. Sorry for dumping all this on you. No, it's good. It's good to talk about this than keeping it all in. One thing about Trash's story is bothering you. Couldn't you have gone to the army base for help? Yes, actually, I was kind of wondering that. Weren't they around then? Something dark and painful flickers across his face. We didn't know it was there. What? You think how sad it is that Hope was so close to help and they never knew. Maybe none of this would have had to happen. Well, wouldn't the army know that they existed, or at least went around scouting or something? I don't know. It must have occurred to Trash too. No wonder he's been so edgy around the military guys. Suddenly, Trash drops to his knees, putting a hand to the ground. He takes a deep breath. Hey, Grandpa. What? Of course, this ruined hut is the closest thing Trash's family had to a grave. Hey, Mama, it's me. It's Carlito. Oh, I'm guessing that's his real name. I'm sorry I haven't visited. I kind of ran a long way. Yeah? I guess I never stopped running. Kneel beside him and wait for him to finish. You drop to your knees beside him. Trash shoots you a smile before turning his attention back to the ground. Actually, Mama, I kinda have someone to introduce to you. Her name is Lana. Hello. She's a really good person. I think you'd like her a lot. I wouldn't have made it back here without her. To be honest, I care about her a lot. Oh my gosh, are you saying that right next to me? He takes your hand in his and holds on tightly. That was a little sad and a little touching. After Trash has said all he needs to say, you leave the Ruins of Hope together. Something seemed to have changed inside him. He seems lighter, warmer. Well, you finally kind of can let that burden all out, you know? Okay. He climbs back into the Jeep and flashes you a grin. Back to the funhouse. Yeah, funhouse. What a way to put it. The creeping truth. Yep. The creeping truth, indeed. One morning, you're heading outside to stretch your legs. As you pass by a group of soldiers milling in a group, they call out to you. Morning, Lana. Sleep well? Yeah, thanks. How are... Uh-oh. Suddenly a loud clatter and the sound of yelling breaks through the conversation. Or, breaks through your conversation. What the? It came from the direction of the mess hall. You start running. Oh no, Trash. No. Inside, the noise has already attracted a lot of the other soldiers, who are standing in a circle and now only adding to the commotion. Slipping between them, you finally come to the center of the circle, where Trash and Alpha stand facing off. Trash flies at him, fist landing square on his jaw. Alpha barely stumbles and is able to catch a second punch before it connects. You know you're fighting against a person who's trained in the military, right? You watch, stunned. Numerous soldiers step forward to grab Trash, who starts throwing shots wildly in all directions before he's finally subdued. Alpha, despite his bloody nose, looks completely composed in the face of Trash, who's struggling to break free of two men restraining him on either side. That's one hell of a hook, kid. Why don't you fight back, you coward? Gamma, who has managed to break through the crowd on the opposite side of the circle, steps forward. So this is how you repay our kindness? At last, the Dust Bowl mongrel shows its true pedigree. Hey, buddy. Hey, you didn't what he... Oh, I'm guessing he said something shitty. Delivering a few simple truths, that's all. Oh, Trash. Don't tell me you're still carrying a grudge after all this time. A grudge? You bastard did nothing when they came for us. Oh, I guess they know. What? We begged you to drive them off again and again, but you just waited until... And then, when hope was nothing but a bloody ruin when it was too late to save anyone, then you came in and wiped the bandits out? So Trash did know that the base existed. Why did he lie? To make it easier for us, possibly? Am I supposed to be grateful? Why didn't you even tell me that? I thought you deserved to know after all these years. Besides... Oh, I guess he just found out. Our decision was sound. We couldn't compromise the base. Unless you could wipe them out all at once, you mean. Trash, I'm sorry for what happened to your family. I don't blame you resenting the army for what you perceive to be inaction on our part. Well, it is. What's the army good for if it doesn't do anything? But is it really fair to bring Lana into your little game of revenge? What the? When you worked out she was part of the military project, it must have felt like a miracle to be handed the one thing you knew we would want. So these guys already know everything, huh? Gamma knows about the project, about you? Dear gosh. We are so screwed. It felt pretty great. Thinking about how you stupid assholes sitting around with your thumbs up your asses with no idea your experiment fucked up, and now had the only thing that came out of it. Oh great, I'm gonna get experimented on. She was the best revenge that Dust Bowl could have given me. I would have lived the rest of my life laughing inside because I knew you'd never have her. Trash? His head whips around, noticing you standing there for the first time. His entire body freezes. I know he doesn't mean it, so it's not like it's a horrible thing or anything, but I guess it's hard to hear. True or not, Lana, your head is reeling, trying to process all this information. The whole time he knew that there were others out here, people who were looking for you. People who could have given you the answers, the future that Trash let you believe didn't exist. While your mind tries to make sense of all of this, your body moves on its own. Okay, so we're definitely not hitting him, because I feel like hitting like anybody for any reason besides self-defense or something is kind of no, right? So it feels like it's the only one that allows you to directly confront him. The other ones are just like, I'm gonna walk away from this situation. But then it was mentioned that, you know, her body's moving on her own. So I guess it makes sense in that kind of situation, especially around 30 other soldiers or something, that you'd want to turn around and just deal with this a little bit later. So you start backing away, shaking your head as if denying this can make it go away. Lana, just listen to me. No, you don't want to hear. Of course you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear anything. You turn and hurry out of the room. You don't stop. It tells me to wait, but I don't stop. Alright. You're in your room. You've been there for quite a while. I'm gonna guess the military people are gonna come in. Who knows what they did to Trash now at this point. In fact, you barely left it at all since yesterday. You heard the news from Gamma. Trash was taken down to the cells on the basement level. Oh my gosh. After all, he did attack the base's commander. Up until now, those cells have been only used to house retrieved muties found in the wasteland. Gamma even told you that some of the soldiers have been grumbling about having to shift the infected around so that Trash could have a room. You haven't gone to see him yet. He knew all along. He knew that the military had an outpost here. And ever since he found that lab together, he knew you had a connection with them. He knew you were valuable to these people and decided he'd rather you both die alone out in the Dust Bowl than bring you here. But he did bring us here, ultimately. Here, where you might have a future. He would have denied you that future. Just for what? Well, to be fair, if he I wouldn't trust giving you a future to people who let an entire village be murdered. So, you know, kind of understandable. I was so blind. Looking back, it all makes sense. This is why he didn't want to follow the radio signal. He must have known it was coming from here. He used to, all along. He was using you for petty revenge. But why did he bring us here then? Yet, you remember the tremble in his voice, how small he looked kneeling over the ruins of hope. You remember him screaming, "We begged you to drive them off." Revenge for his mother, his grandfather, the town he grew up in, an entire community dead because the army refused to help. You don't blame Trash at all. You can understand his reasons. You need to talk to him to understand. I don't think you can forgive him. Does it make sense? After all the things my character says, or has said, I would just say I don't blame Trash at all. Yeah, I don't, really. Despite everything, you realize you don't blame Trash for what he did. Regardless of your resolve, you cannot deny that you're hurting. How much of what you two have shared was real? You had sex. Did that mean anything to him? Or was it all part of the lie? Am I missing something here that I should be really upset at right now? Besides obviously being lied to. That is kind of a big thing. You have to talk to him. Of course we do. We have to. Ma'am? Can I see him? Alpha gave permission for a visit. I won't be opening the door, though. The basement level is, in a word, depressing. A long stretch of the iron door cell permeated by the lingering smell of filth. You can hear the incarcerated muties shuffling about in their cells. I wonder if they age. You know, if that makes any sense. The soldiers guarding the entrance leads you to one door. Opens a slot near the top and leaves you to return to his post. 10 minutes, ma'am. All right, you peek through the slot into the room beyond. Hello, Lana. Trash gets to his feet, but doesn't make any move to come closer. I don't know what to say. Well, say something. I screwed up. Real bad, I know I did. So you were using me? At first, yeah, but I didn't know you back then. And by the time I did know you, it was too late to tell you. But I did the right thing in the end, didn't I? I brought you here, didn't I? You think that makes up for it? Doesn't it? It's not like you treated us horribly when you were. So at least you got that going for you. Trash drives over to the door, face closed through the cell window. Maybe I'll rewatch this when I edit this. I can make sense of the whole situation a little bit better. But right now it's nothing short of confusing. Look, I get that you're pissed off, but I've done a lot of good stuff too. How many times have I saved your ass, huh? As Trash gets more agitated and defensive, you feel less inclined to accept his excuses. You knew there were other people out here all along? Oh, I didn't know. Anything could happen to him since I last saw him. Everyone else bit it. 14 years is a long time. Eventually, you're gonna run out of excuses. There's still something important that you don't quite understand yet. You did bring me here in the end, even knowing it would expose you. You did the wrong thing, then the right thing, then the wrong thing again. Everything you do makes no sense. Well, humans are kind of like that. They kind of, they make decisions that maybe you regret and you try to make up for it, and then you realize you're just running into a whole circle. It's not easy, you know? Just tell me why. I don't understand, and I know why. I do know why? I'm not gonna make any guesses, of course. Just tell me why. Well, it's because I've gone... Oh my gosh. I almost read that out loud, like, way too quickly. Okay. Well, it's because I've gone and fallen in love with you. Ain't it? What? And I know I heard you being all hot and cold back at the bar. Yeah. Guilt, I guess. I'm sorry. Shoulders slope, Trash turns and starts walking away from the door. Give me that. No, I don't love you anymore. Okay, we're just gonna go down, obviously, the romance route because we've already been through all that. So let's just do it. I love you too. Yay. Trash stops in his tracks and turns. Are you serious? Even after everything? Okay, well, I think I'm just gonna talk about it in a separate video because I don't want to ruin the flow of the story too much, so let's keep going. Uh-huh. He swallows hard. You're crazy. I guess. Thank you. Really? That's what you have... Okay, fine. We're gonna go with that. Suddenly, you're interrupted by the guard from before. Trash backs away from the door. Time's up, ma'am. Right. You let the soldier escort you back upstairs to the main level, head and heart spinning. Things have never been more of a mess.